All right, welcome to lesson 3 on the inquiry project, and this one is going to be on how it will be graded. That's often something that students are very worried about. So, like I said, this is for Life Sciences 11 and Anatomy Physiology 12. They use the same rubrics, so I'm going to go over the rough draft rubric in Life Sciences 11 and the final inquiry project rubric for Anatomy Physiology 12. So, like I said before in the template, you have this, you're going to be circling what your achievement goal is. So when I look at this, I'm going to circle, this is what I mark, and I will circle an A plus, an A, a B, or C, or a D. And for each section of the project, I'm going to be providing either suggestions or commendations. So if you've done a good job, I'm probably just going to do a nice little check mark in commendations. I might write a little note like, man, your interview was super awesome, or I really liked the, the research that you did, that you conducted. Maybe you did something really cool in here. So I might write some commendations, but oftentimes it's just a check mark. And that means that for this section, this piece of criteria, you are going to be at full marks. So if you can compare these two, you can see that my criteria has certain marks in the final section. And so it's one to 5 or 1 to 10. Some things are more important to me, like the background information that you do and the links to the course topics, as well as just your overall scientific content and what I judge to be your overall workmanship in the project. So when I look at these different things, I'm looking to see, let's say you chose an A. So if I see that something is missing and you're not quite getting that in what I would think, then I'll write a suggestion. Maybe your hypothesis isn't quite that well worded. I might get you to redo that. Maybe you needed to do some more background information. You can do that as well. So the rough draft rubric is for me to be able to tell you exactly where you're at. I may even give you like a ballpark number, like right now you're at a B and you want to be at an A. So take in my suggestions and you'll be able to get up to an A. Or, maybe you're at an A, but you want to be at an A plus. So I'm going to say, there's a couple things that you could do to add better detail in order to get that. So this is what the rough draft rubric will be like, and I'll be able to give you very specific feedback on this so that you know roughly where you stand as you move into the final rubric. So let's go over that. So in lesson 2, I talked about the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. I also have a section here. I'll just move my head for a second to over here. But there's also a presentation. So there's also a certain marks for just how you organized your thing, if it's well formatted. The works cited at the end of the project, I want to make sure that I see it with APA formatting and that you've put in some solid effort. I can very quickly tell if you've put in solid effort. And one of those things, I don't want to see that you've copy and pasted anything. If you're gonna do something, you can cite it and you can have it in your works cited. But in your overall workmanship, I'm looking to see that this is you and your work, your words. So in the introduction, how you stated your problem and the hypothesis and reasoning that you give, that's 10 marks here. And I went over that. The background information, this, like I said, can have some good scientific content as well. But this is where you begin. Like I said, you can talk about Red Bull and all the different things about it, mountain biking. The links to the courses. So I put a link to the big ideas for the course, but if you're in Life Sciences 11, there's 5 chapters and you can look at all of those. In Anatomy Physiology, there's 10 chapters, so you can look at those and find connections to that. It is a fair mark. These 2 here are worth 20% of your project. So it is really important that you do some good background information and you let me know what you're doing for your topic and that you've also made links to our course throughout. And if you want to do that in a highlighter or something, doesn't matter. I need to be able to see that you've connected it. In your main body, this is where you are going to do some research. Like I said, for your background info, you're going to have to do some research, but then this is where the inquiry comes in. So this is the personally conducted info and the data that you're going to get. I want to see how you've done that. And the explanation of research methods, these two pieces tie in very closely with your scientific content as well, and how it's going to tie into your conclusion. So it is really important that I see that you've completed research yourself and done it well. Like I said in the lesson 2, that can be through using yourself as the test subject or friends or family, providing a survey or doing an interview, some way of conducting your own. And then visual content, I want to see that you've included graphs, pictures, diagrams, pictographs, maps. Totally depends on what you do for your project. Correctness of work, if I see that you've done some data, but then you completely misinterpret it and your results, then there's going to be some problems there. And then the scientific content can be sort of throughout. This can be in the main body, but also in the introduction and also tied into the conclusion. In the conclusion, though, I definitely want to see that you've tied in your hypothesis. You tell me what you learned and how that applies, and that you've sort of connected some of the errors, the difficulties, the biases, like I'd mentioned in lesson 2. And for your conclusion, there's also a decent piece of the overall workmanship. I want to be able to see what you've synthesized and what you're able to do. So I'd say this overall workmanship ties quite nicely into the conclusion. The conclusion in and of itself is not just worth 15 marks, but this is just how I've created the rubric so that you can see it. So hopefully this will help you. As you can see, if I move my face over again, the final project is out of a total of 100. So you'll know exactly what grade you get at the end there. And this is that. So again, if you've got questions, pop into my Skype hours, but hopefully this will provide the framework for you to be successful in the inquiry project. You're going to know exactly what I'm looking for, and I hope that you enjoy this. This is definitely, my hope is definitely that this is going to be something that you look forward to, that you actually get to research something that you like, that you might be passionate about, and do some research on it, conduct some sort of experiment, or conduct some sort of your own research to find out a little bit about this topic and go from there. So I look forward to marking this and seeing how you do. And I really, really do hope that you find it a valuable learning experience in the course. Take care.